What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So if you're paying attention at all to the lamestream media, if you listen to the words that they're saying, the power grid, it's outdated. Solar flares, the power grid, it's outdated. Are they giving you a warning, maybe? Just saying. So, I don't care what it is. Lightning strike, solar flare, EMP. I was thinking to myself, if any of those types of things happened, you know, solar flare up to 228,000 amps or whatever. I work in the city and I'd like to be able to get the hell out of there if something happened. Is there a way to protect my work vehicle? So I started doing some research and I found 3 companies that manufacture devices that will protect you from those things. The problem is you can't get them. They're in such high demand right now, it's insane. You know what I mean? They're all like back order, not in stock, back order. But I did find EMPshield.com. I ordered one for my truck and they sent me the home model by accident because this has 4 wires. This is for 220. So I called them and played the angry customer. I was expecting, you know, what we normally expect. But a human being answered the phone immediately. I didn't have to press 0 or 9 or whatever. A human being. I was like, whoa, that's a great sign. And I said, look, you guys sent me out the home model. I did want the home model, but I wanted it for my car first because these are $400 a pop. That's a lot of money. Especially with the economy slowing down and stuff. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I feel weird sending this back because I do want one, but, you know, I wanted the car one first. And she's like, look, how about this? I'll knock $100 off the price and I'll send it out. The car model. I was like, dude, do it right now. Here's my card, send it. I'm good. So from what I understand, I knew how the car model worked. If there was a surge in energy from any source, it would take that excess energy and chuck it into the chassis of the truck, protecting all of the internal components. You'd still be able to start your vehicle and get home. So it's like a $400 insurance policy on your vehicle for that kind of stuff, which I feel like, I don't know, is worth it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if everyone else around you is down and you can get home and maybe help a few other people out. Maybe a few, but you gotta be careful in that kind of, you know, scenario. But yeah, they did send me the house one. And I was like, look, I'm interested in the house model, but I want to talk to your tech support because I want to understand what this does and what it does not do and what is the proper thing to do with this. And she said, okay, I'll send you over to the tech department. And I said, look, I have a 3-family home. I have 4 sub panels. How many devices do I need? And they said, it's not about the sub panels. How many electrical meters do you have? How many electrical bills do you have? And I said 4. And they said, okay, then you would need 4 devices. And also depends. You could have one electrical meter and 2 sub panels and have a massive property, and you still might need 2 of these. So I think it's case specific. You might have to reach out to the company for yourself to figure that out. But yeah, honestly, at this time, I'm not too concerned about the tenants' apartments. I mean, that's kind of, yeah, I would like to take good care of them, and eventually when I can afford it, I will. But for now, I would like to take care of my apartment, my house. And obviously I do have like washing machines and dryers that are mine under their panels, and it's like, well, I didn't pay too much money for them, so is it worth the $400 insurance policy for a set of $400 machines? I don't know. It depends. You know, it depends on a lot of things. But for now, no. But for my apartment, yes, I have a lot of expensive computers and monitors and appliances and stuff like that. So I said to him, okay, so what does this do? So I said, from my understanding, if I take my computer and unplug it and power it off and it's not connected to anything, it's in the middle of my house, and there's some sort of EMP that goes off in the area or over my house, it's going to fry my computer, correct? And he said, yes. Because your computer is big, it acts like an antenna. It's gonna suck in that energy, and it's got nowhere to go, so it's gonna fry it. I'm like, okay. So where does this come in? And he says, basically, if you install this on your sub panel for your apartment, and it's hooked up correctly and working, say there was a solar flare, lightning strike, EMP, even if it was down line and that surge came up the power lines, this would stop it, and it would send that extra energy into the ground before it had a chance to affect any of your devices. Let's say you have this hooked up in your house and there was an EMP that went off directly over your house. Your monitors, your TVs, your big desktop computers, your appliances, they act like an antenna from what he told me. It's like sticking an antenna up in the air. They're going to attract that excess energy, and it's going to suck it into your system. But if that energy has somewhere to go, with this, it's going to take that excess energy and chuck it into the ground and not destroy anything. He said obviously smaller devices may not be affected depending on where it happens and how it happens, and there's a lot of variables. But if you put the smaller items in a Faraday bag, you should be fine. But larger items, stuff that's like very hard to cover your whole house in tinfoil and put your tinfoil hat on, be a crazy conspiracy theorist. You know what I mean? I'm like, so I don't have to do any of that? And he's like, no, this is the tinfoil. You just stick it in the basement. No one thinks you're crazy. I'm like, dude, sign me up, man. Sign me up. So, I mean, that is pretty cool in itself, man. So, as long as, basically, as long as your monitors, your desktop computers, your appliances, your TVs, whatever, is plugged into the wall socket of your house, where this is installed, all of those devices are protected. But if you unplug that device from the wall for any reason and it happens, that device is no longer protected, it gets fried. It's got to be plugged into the wall socket to be protected, which is pretty cool because most of the time the stuff's plugged in, right? So we're gonna go down and take a look at my sub panels and see what we're working with and see how hard this is for a normal person with not much electrical experience to install. So it does come with some instructions here. It comes with these papers. Gives you an extra 10% off your next order. Limited lifetime warranty and exclusions. Tells you if you hook it up wrong, blah, blah, blah. If you peel this sticker off, no more warranty. And it shows you many different wiring configurations here. So I think this is the one we're going for because it's 220. So we have a common, a ground, and it looks like it wants us to use two separate 20 amp breakers. So now we have to go down in the basement and figure out what kind of panel I have, what kind of breakers I need, and what kind of accessorize I need to hook this up so no wires are exposed and it's installed properly. So let's go see what we're working with. All right, so these are the zip panels. So this is for the 2-bedroom, plenty of space. This is for my apartment, also plenty of space. This goes over to another panel way over there, the 3 bedrooms, and it's completely chock full. And then this is the owner's panel, the smoke detectors and common area lights. But that's different breakers than these. So I had to check. So I opened this up, pulled off one of the breakers because one of them didn't have any wires going to it. So it was just in there, just not doing anything. So I pulled it off to see what kind of breaker it was. Went to Home Depot. I grabbed 2 20 amp breakers because that's what it said in the instructions. And we're gonna we're gonna wire it in right now. Alright, so seeing that I had plenty of room in here, I left the wires long in case I ever need to move this to a different panel or whatnot. I still have the length. Basically, looks like, I mean, usually there's a ground bar somewhere, and then there's the common. This is the common, the white wire bar at the top. Sometimes they're the same bar, the common and the ground. Sometimes they're the same, but in this case, white wire, I went to that. The green wire, looks like there's a separate ground that's running through all of these boxes and then goes out, and it's spiked into the actual ground. So I attached the ground to that, and then our two new 20 amp breakers with the black and red. So let's pop the panel back on and fire it up. All right, so I mean, I would label it, but yeah, I know which ones they are. You know, eventually I'd like to go through these and label them, but for now, I'm not too worried about it. Let's see, no lights are on. Let's oh, look at that. Look at that. So that's why they want you to have two different breakers. Alrighty. That wasn't so bad. Look at that. So obviously I'm working on solar too. I got a company kind of, you know, drafting up a system. And I don't know which way I'm going to lean, if it's going to be like they own the panels or I own the panels, because you can do it either way. If I own the panels, then I'm responsible for panel degradation, roof leaks, all of that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't be paying for electricity. All of the electricity the tenants use would come to me. All the money that I pump into the grid would come to me. And I'm hoping that between the money I get from tenants, the money I get from pumping into the grid, I could combine all of that money, and it would be enough to pay for the monthly payment on the solar system, and then maybe have a few bucks extra left over in my pocket. That's way one. Way two would be they own the panels. They take care of your roof. If your roof looks bad, they'll put a new roof on your house for you before they do the panels. They take care of roof leaks. They take care of the penetrations through your roof. They take care of panel degradation. They take care of all of it. You don't pay for electricity. Nobody pays for electricity. They keep all the money. That's fine. If I'm not paying for electricity and they're making a little bit of money off of it, I mean, I'm saving money, they're making money, cool. I'm fine with that. But I don't care which system we go with. I told the guy I want battery backup. That's the main reason I want solar. The main reason. I want enough backup in my basement that if the grid goes down, I have electricity. So I want whatever system it is, as soon as we lose power here, I want it to shut down pumping power out into the grid and keep the power for our house until whatever, the grid goes back up, and then fine, you can pump it out and make your money again. But until that, this house is protected by its own solar panels first. And if you guys agree to that, then I don't even care, you know? Like, because technically, even if they own the panels, I could charge the tenants for their usage and keep that money. But I'll be like, dude, you can keep that money too. I want battery backup. Period. You know? And I'll probably end up putting one of these EMP protection devices on that system as well. You know, it doesn't hurt. It wasn't, I mean, if you think about what you're protecting with it, for $400, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? And it seems like our grid is becoming more and more heavily, you know, there's more demand than ever, especially when they're pumping up these electrical vehicles, and yeah, there's just a lot more demand. But I keep hearing like the system's old, it's outdated, it's old. You know, and then you hear these U.S. senators coming out saying like the greatest threat to national security right now would be a major EMP attack, because the system is just not protected from something like that. I mean, why would they? You know. But it makes more and more sense these days, especially with all of the political unrest in countries and wars and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, for $400, it was worth every penny for the peace of mind. Anyways, guys, see you later.